Welcome to the stories on Echoes of Revenge. Step into a world where love turns dangerous, revenge feels inevitable, and every story drags you deeper into the shadows of desire, betrayal, and the human heart. Let's begin today's story. The rehearsal dinner was in full swing when my sister Ashley pulled me aside with her practiced wedding director authority. She looked radiant in her designer dress, every detail perfectly coordinated for tomorrow's ceremony that had consumed 18 months of planning. "Emma, we need to discuss your seating arrangement for tomorrow," Ashley announced, consulting her leather-bound planning notebook. "I've made some adjustments to accommodate the guest hierarchy." Guest hierarchy? Couples get priority seating based on relationship importance and social status. Singles sit in back rows to maintain visual balance for photography. She flipped through pages of detailed diagrams. "You'll be at table 12 behind the east pillar." I studied the seating chart she showed me. Table 12 was tucked in the far corner, blocked by decorative columns and positioned where servers would constantly interrupt conversations. Behind a pillar? The photographer specifically requested that single guests not interfere with couple shots during the ceremony. You understand? What I understood was that Ashley had relegated me to social exile because I'd arrived without a date. At 31, I'd built a successful private equity firm specializing in corporate acquisitions, but Ashley saw only my relationship status. "Besides," Ashley continued, "most of the front section is reserved for David's business associates. His company's CEO will be sitting at the head table with other industry leaders." David worked as a mid-level marketing manager at Meridian Technologies, a regional software company struggling with outdated products and declining market share. Ashley acted like his corporate connections made him royalty, when in reality his industry leader CEO was desperately seeking investment to avoid bankruptcy. "Where exactly is David's CEO sitting?" I asked casually. "Table 1, directly in front of the altar. Mr. Richardson specifically requested premium positioning for networking opportunities with other executives." The irony was exquisite. James Richardson had been courting my firm for 6 months, begging for the acquisition deal that would save his failing company. Tomorrow's wedding would be our first face-to-face meeting, though Ashley had no idea I was the mystery investor Richardson kept mentioning in David's presence. "Emma, you're not listening," Ashley snapped. "I need you to arrive early tomorrow to help coordinate single guest seating. Someone needs to ensure the unaccompanied guests don't disrupt the couple dynamics." Couple dynamics? Visual harmony. Married couples project stability and success. Singles create awkward energy that affects photography and social atmosphere. My awkward single energy had generated $47 million in revenue last year while building a portfolio of successfully acquired companies. But explaining that would require Ashley to acknowledge my professional competence, which had never been her strength. "Don't take this personally," Ashley continued with forced sensitivity. "It's just wedding logistics. Once you find a serious relationship, these seating issues won't matter anymore." I nodded thoughtfully. "That makes sense." "Exactly. David's colleagues will understand why certain arrangements are necessary for maintaining proper social order." David's colleagues included Richardson, who'd been frantically texting my assistant all week trying to schedule additional meetings about the Meridian acquisition. Tomorrow's announcement would certainly maintain proper social order, though perhaps not the way Ashley anticipated. The rest of the rehearsal dinner proceeded with Ashley holding court about her wedding vision. She'd spared no expense creating her perfect day: imported flowers, custom linens, 5-course reception dinner, and live orchestra. The total cost exceeded most people's annual salaries. "Ashley's always been our family's event planner," Dad told David's parents proudly. "She has natural talent for creating memorable experiences." "The attention to detail is incredible," Richardson agreed, introducing himself to nearby guests as David's CEO. "I'm looking forward to tomorrow's celebration." I smiled pleasantly and made small talk about the weather, letting Richardson assume I was just another random family member. Tomorrow would provide plenty of opportunity for proper introductions. Saturday morning arrived with typical wedding chaos. Ashley transformed into a commanding general, directing vendors and coordinating timelines while maintaining her bride-perfect appearance. I handled my assigned duties, managing single guest arrivals and ensuring proper seating compliance. "Emma, Make sure the unaccompanied guests understand they're seated in designated areas, Ashley instructed while her makeup artist worked. I don't want anyone wandering into couple sections during photos. The ceremony venue looked absolutely spectacular. Ashley had created a magazine-worthy aesthetic with cascading white orchids, ivory linens and elegant pin spotting that highlighted every carefully chosen detail. Every element reinforced her vision of sophisticated romance between successful, established couples. The Richardson party needs special attention, Ashley continued, checking her detailed timeline obsessively. Mr. Richardson is David's most important business connection. His impression of today's event could impact David's career advancement opportunities significantly. Richardson had indeed arrived with considerable fanfare, accompanied by his elegantly dressed wife and 2 other Meridian executives wearing expensive suits. Ashley personally escorted them to premium front-row seating while professional photographers captured their entrance for her comprehensive wedding album. That's the CEO of David's company, Ashley whispered excitedly to our cousins and extended family members. Having someone of his caliber attend adds incredible prestige to our wedding celebration. I took my assigned seat behind the east pillar, surrounded by other single family members and college friends who'd failed to secure romantic partnerships worthy of front-row positioning. The view was partially obstructed, exactly as Ashley had planned. The ceremony proceeded flawlessly. Ashley had choreographed every moment for maximum visual impact, with strategically positioned couples creating her ideal photographic aesthetic. Richardson and the other Meridian executives occupied places of honor, clearly visible in every professional shot. During the cocktail hour, I mingled appropriately with other relegated singles while Ashley strategically networked with David's corporate connections. She made absolutely sure to personally introduce Richardson to every important family member, positioning herself as the sophisticated bridge between David's professional and personal worlds. Mr. Richardson, this is my father who owns 3 successful retail stores in the downtown district, Ashley gushed with practiced charm. And my uncle manages commercial real estate development throughout the metropolitan area. Richardson played his networking role perfectly, expressing appropriate interest in family businesses while clearly scanning the room for more significant opportunities. He had absolutely no idea the most significant business opportunity was seated behind decorative architectural pillars. Your sister certainly knows how to orchestrate an impressive event, Richardson told me during a brief conversation near the bar. David's lucky to have married into such an accomplished family. Ashley's always been detail-oriented, I agreed. In my business, attention to detail makes all the difference between success and failure, Richardson continued, clearly hoping to impress. I'm always looking for partners who understand that principle. I nodded politely and excused myself to check on other single guests, leaving Richardson to continue his networking rounds with more promising prospects. The reception dinner began with Ashley's carefully orchestrated seating plan in full effect. Richardson's table enjoyed premium positioning and service, while Table 12 received standard treatment behind architectural obstacles. Ashley had succeeded in creating her perfect visual hierarchy. She had no idea that hierarchy was about to be permanently restructured. During the main course, Richardson's phone buzzed with an urgent message. He glanced at the screen, then stood abruptly with barely concealed excitement. Ladies and gentlemen, Richardson announced, tapping his champagne glass. I apologize for interrupting this beautiful celebration, but I've just received news that can't wait. Ashley beamed with satisfaction. Her CEO guest was about to make her wedding even more memorable with some kind of corporate announcement. As you know, Meridian Technologies has been seeking strategic partnership opportunities, Richardson continued, his voice carrying across the reception hall. Today, I'm thrilled to announce we've reached agreement with Morrison Capital Partners for a complete acquisition. Confused murmurs rippled through the crowd. Ashley looked puzzled. She'd never heard of Morrison Capital Partners. Morrison Capital is one of the region's most successful private equity firms, Richardson explained. Their founder and CEO has built an impressive portfolio of technology acquisitions. I quietly stood from Table 12, smoothing my dress as Richardson's eyes found mine across the reception hall. I'd like to invite our new partner to join me, Richardson called out. Emma Morrison, would you please come forward? The silence that followed was absolute. Ashley's face went through a fascinating transformation. Confusion, disbelief, and finally dawning horror as I walked from behind the pillar toward the head table. Every eye in the reception hall followed my movement. Emma Morrison founded Morrison Capital Partners 5 years ago, Richardson announced as I joined him at the front of the room. Her firm specializes in rescuing struggling technology companies through strategic acquisitions and operational improvements. I accepted the microphone Richardson offered, looking out at the sea of stunned faces. Ashley sat frozen at the head table, her perfect wedding narrative completely derailed. "Thank you, James," I said calmly. "I'm excited about Meridian's potential under new ownership. We'll be implementing immediate changes to improve efficiency and market positioning." "Changes?" David whispered, his face pale. "Management restructuring begins Monday," I confirmed. "We'll be evaluating all current personnel and operational procedures." Richardson nodded enthusiastically. Emma's acquisition strategy has a proven track record of transforming underperforming companies into industry leaders. Ashley finally found her voice. "Emma, you're the CEO of Morrison Capital?" "I am," I replied simply. The remainder of the reception passed in surreal awkwardness. Ashley attempted to salvage her perfect day by repositioning me as the evening's honored guest, but the damage to her carefully constructed social hierarchy was irreversible. "I had no idea you were so accomplished," Ashley whispered during a private moment. "You should have told me about your company." "You never asked about my work," I replied. "You were focused on seating arrangements." Richardson spent the rest of the evening apologizing for not recognizing me earlier and expressing enthusiasm about our partnership. David looked increasingly uncomfortable as he realized his new sister-in-law was now his boss's boss. Monday morning brought swift changes at Meridian Technologies. Richardson remained as president, but reported directly to my firm's operational team. David's marketing department underwent complete restructuring, with several position eliminations and role reassignments. "Emma, please don't let family dynamics affect David's career," Ashley pleaded during a tense phone call. "Business decisions are based on performance metrics, not family relationships," I assured her. David ultimately survived the restructuring by demonstrating unexpected competence when freed from Meridian's previous dysfunctional management structure. He never again mentioned my single status or seating appropriate for my social position. Ashley's wedding photos captured the moment perfectly, the bride's shocked expression as her relegated sister claimed center stage with devastating authority. The professional images served as lasting reminders that assumptions about worth based on relationship status can be spectacularly wrong. Some lessons about respect and recognition require dramatic public revelation to be truly understood and remembered.